In less than a week, Todd Chrisley receives his first prison visitor. Even though Todd Chrisley is serving a lengthy prison sentence, the Chrisleys are not leaving his side anytime soon. In case you missed it, the businessman was found guilty of conspiracy to conduct bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and tax fraud, together with his wife Julie Chrisley. The couple started their prison sentences on January 17, 2023, and will serve them at Florida correctional facilities, which are around 2.5 hours apart. Only a week after his arrest, the patriarch of the Chrisley family received his first visitors, Lindsay Chrisley, his daughter, and his mother. Todd Chrisley's mother and daughter, Lindsay, are his first prison visitors. Throughout this trying time, the Chrisley family has not wavered in its support for the businessman. Todd's daughter Lindsay and his mother Nanny Faye paid him a visit at the Federal Correctional Institute Pensacola in Florida, where he is serving his sentence. Prior to this revelation, the influencer appeared to indicate an unplanned road trip in an episode of her The Southern Tea podcast. She did not, however, explain why she took the unplanned trip. Also, the television personality said that she went to the beach, which sparked speculation about where she had been. There was a thread this weekend about people trying to figure out what beach I was at and why I was there, Lindsay revealed. If it were my parents' beach house or a new condo. Later in the broadcast, the reality star said that her family was adjusting to the reality of the situation. With my parents, my family went through a lot this year, she explained. There were so many legal things that happened. Though the outcome was not what we had hoped for, there is a sense of peace and closure, and we now have the opportunity to adjust. Although Todd and Julie's conviction came as a shock to the family, the 33-year-old had previously stated that she finds solace in knowing God has plans for them. Lindsay, according to The Blast, uploaded an image of a TikTok video devoted to her parents. Her father and her son, Jackson Campbell, were shown together. Along with the image was a comment stating that the TV personality has found comfort in God's word regarding her family's circumstances. I ask for guidance to follow it, patience to wait for it, and knowledge to know when it arrives. The screenshot was obtained from a movie collection of Todd, Julie, and Jack's sweet moments. Fans were affected by the moving video, and some showed their support for the Chrisleys. I have never cried so hard for perfect strangers, one distressed fan wrote. Y'all are in my thoughts and prayers. I'm praying so hard for y'all, said another. Everything will work out in your favor. Keep fighting the good fight. Savannah Chrisley is dissatisfied with her parents' long prison sentence. Todd's other children have yet to pay him a visit, but they continue to push for him and Julie. Savannah, Todd and Julie's daughter, expressed her thoughts on their prison sentence shortly after it was announced, calling it as terribly harsh. Savannah, as previously reported, spoke on an edition of her Unlocked podcast, equating her parents' prison sentence to Jen Shah's. Shah was the mastermind of a national telemarketing fraud scam that has harmed thousands of people. She was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, which is significantly less than Todd and Julie's total sentence of 19 years. Put the cases side by side, and it makes no sense, it just doesn't, Savannah raged. Savannah went on to point out the distinctions between the two scenarios. The 25-year-old believes Shah's offenses were far worse than her parents, owing to Shah's fraudulent schemes. The alleged telemarketing program targeted elderly people, depriving them of both their wages and their houses. Todd and Julie, on the other hand, were found guilty of bank fraud and tax evasion, which they reportedly used to fund their extravagant lifestyles. There were hundreds of elderly victims, and those who made statements that lost their houses threatened to terminate their lives, she says. There were so many things, and she only had 6.5 years. That makes sense.